Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you're about to title today's video, we're here to talk about everything I've learned in 30 days of being a shooter in NBA 2K23. So, for those who don't know, if you look through my channel, anything before this video, for the most part, right here, I finally made a shooting build, is mostly me talking about things to do with defense or finishing, or maybe some types of playmaking, or my teammates' type of shooting, because I, for the most part in this year's game, have not made any shooting builds at all. But I finally made 4 weeks ago, on the dot, it's literally like 30 days ago, a shooting build that's meant to play 5 out and play as like a pick and popper and stuff like that, and I've played 1v1 with it, all types of stuff. So we're here to get some 1v1 gameplay for you, and I'll just talk over that as far as the things that I've learned as a shooter in this game, which is very weird and different from most years' games as far as shooting goes. And obviously we have things that are pretty like well known, like the fact that you have to green shots in this year's games, and they rarely go in on whites or anything like that. But I'm not here to talk about the obvious, where like everybody knows these types of situations. I'm just here to talk about my own personal experiences that I learned that I wasn't expecting. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, for the drop a like, sub, new time noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to 2,000 likes. So the first thing I want to talk about is with spacing comes using it too much at times. So my examples of this, I want to talk first and foremost 1v1 court, 2v2, 3v3, stuff like that. Then we'll also talk 5v5 pro-am, etc, etc. But for the smaller courts, I find myself hunting three-pointers way too much than I really should, to be honest. I feel like for the most part, you really need to play inside out in this year's game. As you can see, like this guy right here, he's only going to shoot threes if he has to. And as you can see, I have respected too much, gets him a really easy rim run. I have to chase it down, and obviously I have no chance of doing that with the low block rating I have on the build. So my whole point here is the fact that with the good spacing, and especially on like pro-am courts and stuff like that too, comes using it too much at times. Looking for three-pointers too much, picking, popping constantly, spotting up three-pointer, whatever the case may be. I find myself shooting way too many threes or trying to shoot way too many threes. And to be honest, the truth is, it's just easier to get a wide open dunk than it is to shoot the ball wide open. I mean, obviously, like a shot like this, it has a pretty good chance of going in 100%. Like, I really do think it's easy to shoot shots like this. But you know what's even easier? To do something like this, where you just stop and go, rim run, quick drop. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I just think it's very, very, very important to remember that you don't have to hunt threes as hard as you believe. You can let your inside open up the outside. As you can see, I am shooting pretty bad with that shot though, but I do really, really like the meter, and that's another thing we're going to talk about as well, is that I think the meter is so much more usable than people will give it credit for in this year's game. I'm not going to be afraid of just shooting the ball because I have the meter on. If anything, I really do believe this is a really, really nice set of training wheels for brand new jump shots. This jump shot that I was using right here, brand new to me. I had been on the LaMelo ball for the most part this year, and especially with this build, and that's another thing we'll also talk about is the jump shots. We'll get to that in a second. Like I said, I really do want to talk about the shot meter not being that bad for you. I really think as long as you understand the delay on the meter, and this probably stems from the fact that I actually use the dunk meter a pretty good bit. As you can see, the latency on this is actually very similar to the latency on shooting with the meter. And maybe this is why I'm so prepared and used to this right here, and I'm able to just transition into shooting with the meter really well, is because I'm used to the latency of this. You have to let the meter go at about right here, and it compensates for the fact that it ends at about right there as well. And I just think it's a little easier for me to segue into that because I really do think I'm so used to the delay and the latency on the dunk metering, and it translates to the shooting as well. But then let's also talk about jump shots. This one right here is back to my Tobias base. I was using it for a little bit, and then also a little bit of Oscar Robertson, a little bit of Sadiq Bey for the uppers. It's kind of a mix between the two of them. I just wanted good jump shot grades on this, and it has really good speed, really amazing speed, great defensive immunity still, even pretty decent like release height and stuff like that as well, and the timing impact is actually pretty nice as well. So I just think to have things like this where you have the good timing impact, the good speed, make it so you really still play inside out, where you have to like really make people give up that threat of the drive on you, and then you can just get yourself wide open three-pointers. As long as it's a fast jump shot, people can't bait you into an easy one, they can't react to your shot quickly as they see it start going up, all types of stuff like that. The jump shot is good, and whatever works for you, go with it. It's as easy as that. I honestly think a lot of people are peer pressuring or like bullying people in the community to like not use the jump shot meter if they find themselves like comfortable with it. I just think, to be honest, whatever gets the ball to go through the hoop the most is what you should be doing. Whether it's the jump shot itself, whether it's can you fade, can you not, anything like that, whether it's the jump shot meter on or off, who cares? At the end of the day, if you're getting the ball to go through the hoop, that's all that matters, man. Now, on that note, let's talk about one way that's hard to get the ball to go through the hoop in the first place. Catch and shooting is awful in this game when you're on the run. Like when you are moving around, also shout out to the late on the fade, but when you're moving around on the perimeter, man, it is so hard to get a good catch animation into a good shot, and you have to be so patient with it, and it takes really a long time to get a good animation. Or I should say, if you get a bad animation, it takes so long to have to sit there and wait for the ball to eventually be in the right spot to then shoot the ball. And if you sat there and hold your X button the whole time and just expected that it was gonna work after getting a really garbage catch, you're gonna have to really adjust it visually to the jump shot release cue, and it's gonna be a different jump shot than you're used to. The catch and shooting is just awful in this game. Its repetition of being the same thing every time is not there at all. That's for sure, man. Also, the footage you're gonna see for a little bit of the rest of the video is gonna be kind of some rerun stuff. I don't have a whole lot of new gameplay to give you guys. I've been really busy in real life as well, so I wanted to get this video to you guys. While yes, I understand it's a little bit of recycled gameplay, I do apologize to those who have seen all the videos and stuff. I appreciate you guys always watching so consistently, and I do apologize that it's maybe stuff you've already seen a little bit, but shout out to the 1v1 gameplay. Anyway, next topic right here, I have a pretty important one for those of you guys to hear out there. So this one is, don't be afraid to experiment things or lose while doing so. I think the fact that I come out here and play on the stage 1v1 and I'm throwing on the meter for the first time, I don't care if I lose in here, man. It's as simple as that. Don't be too worried about the outcome of the game, whether it's win or loss. If you're trying new things that are going to eventually try and make you better at the game yourself, or just produce better essentially in the long term. I really do think growth and development as a player on this game is way more important than just the win or the loss in the first place. That especially goes for if you play rec randoms or anything like that. I gotta say, just your overall development as a player on the game is way more important than to try and sit here and sweat and win in the rec and be too careful with your shot selection or anything like that. Be willing to just fail and experiment and do all types of stuff like that, because I'm coming out here trying the meter. I love it. It's really improving my game. I really do think this is helping me shoot a lot, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of people on the YouTube that are gonna be clowning me for it. Who cares what people think or anything like that? And who cares if you're gonna come out here and look bad from the beginning of the game doing stuff like this? I think just to try new things and experiment, whether it's fading, whether it's trying to just lab new things out with a dribbling that gets you open shots, or just in general to play in multiple different ways. It really is key to developing your way of shooting the ball, or to feel more comfortable doing it when it actually matters in the future. Also, this one right here is the last shot of the game, so I'll just go ahead and show some lovely gameplay. Look at this. I mean, another thing that I want to talk about too is just this right here. So I know this is gonna be super corny to tell you guys, but this is something I have learned actually while I now am starting to shoot the ball. This little swag animation right here only happens if you made 3 shots in a row. It could be dunks though. It could be 2 dunks and then you green your third shot after that. It could be straight jump shots. But as in this gameplay, man, my dude was swagging out. It was just constant, just absolutely stunned on him on these shots, because I just was making so many shots in a row and was rarely missing in this stuff. But anyway, into the next gameplay, and also into our next topic, I have one that I really want to talk about too, because me being a player that didn't really have too much 3-point rating on any build beforehand, I found myself using the meter almost every single play. With people sagging off super far, it was really hard to create these opportunities to the dunks, because they didn't have to defend me like this guy is right here, where I can just kind of quick drop right past him. They would be a little bit further back right here and adjust and be way more willing and ready to just defend the paint. And with this one right here, they have to guard up way more, and it leads to me just getting right by him and dunking. With these builds, I don't find myself doing the dunk meter hardly as much at all, and especially in 1s, 2s, 3s settings and stuff like that. For Pro-Am, it's still a little bit reasonable, because if I break down one defender, I still got to get past him and then dunk on the next guy, and you will still see situations like this pop up way more often, where, let's say for instance, I don't really kill him that easy, and he's not that high up on me, but I'm still not comfortable shooting this shot. But yeah, I do understand what you guys are talking about when you were maybe hating on me early in the year, and I'm not saying it in a true hating way. I'm just saying I understand your guys' perspective and your point of view now when I would talk about people hardly using the dunk meter at all, because the truth is, it's not that necessary for people that can shoot the ball. You just either shoot or they guard you tight and you get right past them and dunk. Simple as that. For me, it wasn't really as easy as that though. I had to really just get into the lane and actually utilize this dunk meter, and I don't find myself having to do it quite as much now that I'm on the shooting build. In these situations though, I really do encourage you guys to try it a little bit. I mean, if there's anything that I would encourage you to try off the fact that I am trying the whole shooting thing, it's the fact that this is not that hard, especially with slash takeover to do. I mean, I'm wide open right here to shoot the ball, but to be honest, I got slash take. You can't bait me into jump shots at all, man. I'm about to bang out. It's not that hard, especially with slash take. So I encourage you guys to at least give that a try yourself as well. But I will say, I'm still definitely out here to 300 a little bit for just the sake of entertainment. And not to mention, once you do that, once again, you beat people from the interior, it opens up the 3 even more. He can't even sit here and think about baiting me into the shooting again, because he already just seen. He tried to bait me into shooting, but boom, I was just able to get right by him and dunk meter him again. So people may watch my games and watch the way I play the game, right, when it comes to the shooting build, and they see you shoot so many open shots. Why don't people guard me like that? Well, if you play a little bit more inside out and you really do like dunk on people consistently, or like quick drop past them, or just go with the dunk meter in general, they're going to start playing way further back off because they have to get themselves like bodied up and situationally prepared to stop you from those dunks and from those dunk meters in general. So, at least to me, getting wide open 3-point opportunities consistently, and I don't even have to learn how to shoot tired, or I don't have to learn how to shoot through contest, or I don't have to really worry about anticipating if they're going to contest me or not. I just get wide open 3-pointers, and it's about as easy as that. I mean, this dude has to defend the interior. Slash take, dunk meter, beast. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to boast myself up too much or anything, but I'm just telling you guys, it'd be a nice thing to add to your game. Same with me adding shooting to my game was pretty nice. I think you adding the dunk meter to your game would be very nice as well. As you can see though, fading that right there, I gotta say animations are a really important thing to lab out. That's already something I knew beforehand, obviously though, between jump shots and like dribble pull-ups and stuff like that, certain hop jumper animations, whether it's for dribbling or shooting, etc, etc. But those are the things that I have learned in my 30 days of being a shooter in NBA 2K23 to hit a little revision right here and just explain them to you in every bullet point. Number one, we were talking about jump shots between Tobias base, LaMelo base, all types of stuff like that, between the small guards, the wings, the bigs. I've actually learned that bigs have very few shots to select from as far as their bases. It's kind of sad, to be honest. Wings look ridiculous, and then guards also just have Curry and Kevin Porter Jr., so it's really all you need at that point. But anyway, again, number one, jump shots. Number two, you don't really find yourself doing the dunk meter hardly at all, besides in fives. It does happen still pretty consistently for my style of play. Number three, the my career methods. Number four, the shot meter isn't really that bad this year. I think I actually do have a pretty newfound love for it, to be honest, and I'm still pretty new to it too, so I'm excited to see how a couple more reps on this can actually translate to my game even getting better. Number five, don't be afraid to experiment things or lose while doing so. I really do think if you guys come out here and you're a little bit more playful with it and you do experiment and just try and find new ways to get better at the game, then you really will build toward your long-term success or your long-term overall development of skill in this game. And I think that's extremely important. Whether it's on 1v1 court, I think that's the best place to do it, because then you're not selling teammates out. You're not like really just having a bad situation with other people. I think just it all being on you is pretty nice. And if you go out here and lose, then who cares, man? It is what it is. I've been there before myself, and you know, I understand from my perspective too. People message me after games and be like, "Put that one on YouTube." Okay, buddy. Like, I get it, but it's whatever. Anyway, at least you don't have to deal with that. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, number six, catch and shooting is awful in this game on the run. I mean, it's so bad on pick and pops, and you just have to compensate for it. You really have to slow down. You have to understand what shots you can and can't shoot, and if you have to be a little bit more patient with it, just remember, catch, run, and dunk, catch, run, fade is a really overpowered mechanic in this game. So if you catch the ball and you're not open enough to shoot it, just keep in mind that if you just run out of the catch, it's a crazy speed boost, and it's definitely something that compensates for the lack of being able to catch and shoot on the run in this game. Number seven, with spacing comes using it too much at times. It's just the truth. I mean, you're going to find yourself shooting the ball way more than you really need to, because you're going to have very many dunks available to you. It's just you don't really go for them. Or, again, people play outside in versus inside out, and that's okay. It's just understand that you're kind of limiting yourself to more contested shots when you are constantly looking to shoot the ball versus letting yourself open up your three-pointers by the threat of the drive. But anyway, that is all for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, sub if you're new to them noties, all the good stuff, and like always, try to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put 30 in the comments so it supports me all the way through. Anyway, that's all. Hope you all enjoyed. As far as some ideas for the videos coming up here, I want to just list a couple things out here. I don't see why not, so I'll just go ahead and give you guys a couple of the ideas for the videos that are coming up soon. I've been labbing out in the notes a little bit as far as things I want to do. So I do want to bring the number one meta Pro-Am builds at each position back pretty soon here. I did them about two and a half months ago, something like that, but I want to update you guys a little bit on that. So I might get to that pretty soon. Another video, I tested every triple threat in NBA 2K23, so you don't have to. I might do a couple other animation videos that are kind of like that too, but that's one that I have definitely in mind. I have a couple Pro-Am videos for sure, like how to master pick and roll in Comp Pro-Am, how a vocal lockdown is game-changing in Comp Pro-Am, how to defend 5 out in NBA 2K23 Comp Pro-Am, Then I have maybe like a review one of the game itself. It's almost reaching the halfway point of the 2K23 year, so I have an idea to do everything I love about NBA 2K23 in its own separate video, and then everything I hate about NBA 2K23 in another different separate video. We got rate my build stuff, we got like no money spent series. I'm gonna be doing all this stuff somewhere in February, so just stay tuned for that. No money spent might be like March-ish or something like that. But anyway, that's all video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you guys appreciate these end of video conversations I'll be having and stuff too. I want to do more of them toward the end of the year. I feel like in the past, and especially last year, I was victim to this really hard. When I try and play by the algorithm and like the whole new viewer life and stuff like that, I don't want to bore people with stupid, like meaningless things at the end of the video. But what I do find is that, you know, you as a subscriber, or if you watch a lot of my videos and stuff like that, and you're really invested in the vids in general, you would love to hear this stuff that I have to say at the end of the videos. I'm sure you can concur with that as well. So I do appreciate when I can like really take the mental step back in my videos and understand that I really enjoy talking to you guys, straight up, simple as that. And it doesn't matter if it's for video purpose and I'm like worried about the algorithm, I'm worried about the viewer retention, all that BS, like YouTube statistic BS and stuff like that. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate all the support I've been getting this year, man. It's been life-changing stuff, and I'm really happy and thankful for you guys, and I don't take this for granted at all. We're looking to really push even harder into this like March, April, May, June, July stuff. I'm really looking forward to maybe just keeping the longevity ahead and making sure I'm staying on top of everything this year. But anyway, that's all video. Hope you enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.